What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm upgrading all of my medium tanks. I'm going to show you how I set them up. It's super quick, super easy. It's going to be a game changer. I mean, it saves so much time. I like the configuration of the tank better than what I was using before, and I'll show you guys what I was using before. This is worth your time, especially if you have more than one Crested Gecko or quite a few Crested Geckos, or you're growing them up. Perfect size tank, not for adults, but for growing them up. A+ tank. I'm about to show you guys that. It's a sweet video, so you guys are going to want to stick around to the end so you can see the finished product. Now, I understand a lot of these style tanks or like rack systems are not popular with some people. Now, I also want to just specify and say this. I try to give my geckos as much as I possibly can. I give them multiple plants, I give them climbing branches, and a lot of other things. A lot of other bigger breeders and a lot of breeders in general don't go the extra mile. So like, I understand I'm having them in these tote tanks. Even though I use totes or the rack, I'm trying to have their best interest in mind. I'm not somebody who pushes away ethics for benefit of myself. I could be selling a lot of geckos. I actually could be breeding quite a few geckos this year that I'm not, because I want to make sure that they not only make weight, but they also are the correct age so that their insides can develop fully. Now, I'm not going to go fully into that. I'm just saying I could be doing a lot more things to make a lot more money than I'm doing. I'm not doing this just for the money. I'm doing it to make cool geckos. Don't murder me in the comments. We can have a discussion about it if you disagree with it, but try not to murder me in the comments for using this rack system. So without any further ado, let's get into it. Alright guys, so the first thing I'm going to show you is some Velcro that I ended up buying, because we need the Velcro to make all of these rows stick together, because they only stick together side by side. They don't really stick together long way. So I basically have 3 for each row. I'll do 1 in the middle and then 1 on each corner, which you guys will see throughout. So right here, I'm putting 1 on the right side. Now you guys will see me putting 1 in the middle, and I'll make sure it sticks, and then push it down and make sure it's all lined up nice. And then the last one I need to do is going to be over on the left side. And this is just to kind of show you guys in better detail. I basically pull off both of the sticky sides, put it down, and then push it. Now, the Velcro I got came in strips. I just cut those strips into pieces, and that's how that worked. Now, the next part we're going to talk about is where the tanks actually came from. So I ended up getting them from Amazon. Now, some of you might be asking why I'm upgrading my tanks. Now, my old medium-sized tanks or totes or tubs, whatever, they work good, but they're not very space efficient. I feel like I can utilize my space in a much better way by switching them, and that's the main reason why I'm getting these totes. I also like that they're a little bit taller, so it gives the geckos more room to climb, therefore letting me add more branches into the enclosures. The other thing I really like about them is it's going to save me a ton of time when I'm cleaning enclosures or just doing general care, because I can open 2 or 3 at a time and take care of 2 or 3 at a time, whereas before I can only do 1 or 2. So it's going to greatly reduce all of the time I'm spending caring for the actual geckos. Not that I really care about that, but you know, it does help when you're not spending so much time doing that. It helps me give me more time to make videos for you guys, which I think I'm doing better at, honestly, but I don't know. You guys will have to let me know in the comments. Alright guys, now that we have the box open, I'm going to show you all the pieces that come in it so you guys know how to put it together. So basically the first thing you'll see is the box, then the front door, then the back door, and then aromatherapy, which you don't need. Like I said, that's aromatherapy, and we're using these for geckos, not shoes, so just throw it. And don't throw these away, because these are extra handles for the doors. Now right here, this is the front opening door and also the back vented hole. So there's that. Alright guys, so this is what we're working with right now. I got 1 of my 3 boxes I ordered yesterday, and the rest just came today, so we're going to set those up now. So basically this is, each individual tank will come with this. I'm going to show you guys the correct way and the incorrect way of how to put them together. So basically you take the tank and you fold these in, and you guys will see basically the outline of the tank right now. So you're basically just making that into the square box. As you guys can see, that is the tank. Now, one thing I do want to show you is that there's one spot where the tank is like connected, where there's like a little bump in it, where basically the plastic sheet is either like glued together, welded together, whatever. You want to make sure that is on the top, because if your geckos pee and poop and you put that on the bottom of your tank, the pee and poop is just going to get stuck down in there. So you basically just want to make sure that that is along the top, so they're not peeing and pooping and then pee and poop just get stuck in there. So what I'd recommend is putting the front door on first and then the back, personally, but that's just what I did. And I'm going to show you guys the incorrect way to do it right now. And basically the only reason I'm showing you the incorrect way is because I was a dummy and I put on the back door first, which means I had to line up the front door with it. And that meant that, unfortunately, I did it backwards, and, you know, I literally did what I told you guys not to do, and I did that on accident. But the rest of them were not like this. I just wanted to show you guys. You basically have to line up the prong side and the hole side so you can connect them later on. Now, this is just basically me putting on the front and just showing you guys that this was not the correct way that I would like it done personally. I mean, to each their own, but if you want more work for yourself, then I guess do it this way. But what I'm going to do from now on is start with the front door first, so I make sure that when I line it up, that's along the top, and then I'll just do the back and match it up after that. Alright guys, so like I said, the proper way to do it is to fold that out, make your little box, fold the tabs down, and then I would do the front door first. That way you can ensure that that little connecting flap doesn't get put at the bottom, because I just think that's going to be a total mess if you're trying to keep your tanks clean and then there's just pee and poop stuck in that. That's just a recipe for disaster. Alright guys, so in a second I'm going to show you guys how to connect the tanks, which are using these little prongs and these little holes. But first I'm going to show you guys that what the tank looks like actually set up. So you basically can open the door, there's little magnets at the top, but like you guys can see up there, that's where that little flap is, and that's what you want. So now I do that, door shut with the little magnet, and everything is okay in the world. Alright guys, now the way you connect them is you basically take the one side that has the prongs and stick it inside the one side that has the holes, and then just slide over, as you guys can see I'm trying to do right here. The first ones were a little bit difficult, but once you figure out how to do it, it works like a charm. And as you guys can see, the rows will all be stuck together, but the columns won't, and that's why I'm using the Velcro. So basically now, this is just going to be me showing you guys how I'm doing it. Like I said, the first few rows took a second, but after that, I was flying through these suckers. So that's what I'm kind of showing you guys now. So sit back and enjoy. Now, like I said, I chose to use Velcro to keep these all stuck together. That way, if I ever did have to unstick them, I could just unvelcro them and then re-stick them back together. I don't know if that was the best strategy, but, you know, we'll see, I guess, when I have to move them if that was a good strategy or not. Alrighty guys, and with this last one, that is 4 out of the 6 rows going in. We only got 2 more to go. This is row 5, meaning there's only 1 more row to go. Alright guys, and that means we're finally finished. This is the last row, so I'm basically just putting Velcro along the back and making sure everything's stuck and making sure that everything looks good. This is the final product, which I'll show you guys in 1 minute, but lots and lots of tanks, basically 35 tanks, or 36 tanks, sorry, not 35, and I'm super excited for it. Alright guys, so we are all done setting them up. I think they work perfectly. My only complaint is at the very bottom, which let me go over this real quick. So the bottom 2 rows have been in there for 1 day. I just got done putting this row and this one in the tanks just now. I'm going to show you guys really quickly how dirty they make their tanks, because as soon as you clean your tank, especially if you have more than one Crested Gecko, you know this, they instantly make it dirty because they walk in their food. Now look at this. Walked in its food, clean, walked in its food, a little bit walking in its food, clean, walking in its food and destroyed its tank. Relatively clean, walked in its food, relatively clean, walked in its food. So pretty much, I would say 50% of all the ones that have been in there walked in their food, but overall, I'm pretty happy with it. Other than, like I said, there's one thing. So in the middle, basically the middle 2 tanks on the very bottom, when I shut them now, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it doesn't want to shut all the way because of the weight and the pressure going onto it right here. So I have to push that in like that. And I believe this one does the same thing. I just kind of pushed it hard, but this one doesn't go in anymore. You got to kind of push it. Now the rest of them, I've tested all of them multiple times, are all perfectly fine. I don't know if I told you guys this before, but the little doors are magnetic. And if anybody's wondering, can my Crested Gecko push out? No, because I had one, I believe, I wonder if it was, I think it was Copper, who went and was running around all crazy and was acting like a fool, and he didn't get out, which was something I was actually very worried about. And I'm glad to say they cannot get out. And the cool thing about these, a lot of people either have to drill their own ventilation holes or cover up the ventilation holes, but with these, the cool thing is there's a little ventilation hole right there. There's just one right there, and then the ones in the back are all big or small enough to where nothing can get through. I would even say I wouldn't put hatchlings in here necessarily. I'm not putting hatchlings in here, but if I did, I would not have to cover up these holes because nothing is going to get out of them. Now, if you feed live bugs and you don't hand feed, you definitely want to put some screen like around the outside and hot glue it or something like that, because you don't want your feeders to get out. But if you don't do that and you tongue feed, which is what I do, I hand feed all of them, then you should be okay and you won't have to put any screen on there. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, thank you for watching. If you liked it and you want to see some more videos like this, let me know, and I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.